President.
Special Agent Reed.
We've
Wow.
confirmed V's presence here at NCS.
FIA must have been on you since you went through security.
And so me?
Move. Go. They're gonna spot us.
Probably too weak to get around on her own. Most likely she's waiting somewhere, concealed.
Most likely just doesn't cut it. Does Orbital Air know the stakes?
They triggered the alarm but failed to find V.
And our agents?
Cover's been blown on a handful. OA won't get a word out of them. I guarantee it. Those still undercover are looking for Songbird.
We'll talk about operational errors later. Asking for help never was your strong suit. So I decided for you and brought support.
I have everything under control.
We never saw them
You
interact.
lost control way back. It's time
Interesting.
to acknowledge that.
Oh, Rosalind Myers.
Yeah.
True face.
We never actually saw
Billboards.
the conversation, you know?
I know you care about the girl.
What about in the building? Excuse me, did we?
What about in the
Recruited
building
her, trained
in
her.
Then I forgot. I'm sorry.
the place where we killed the homeless people?
But your duty, first and foremost,
With
is
Reed?
to your country.
Sorry.
When
I'm talking about, did we see Reed talking to the president?
to Myers, when we were, remember that spot where we were hiding out?
Yeah,
and
I
then
do,
the
I
two
do.
homeless people came, and then you and Myers, you killed the homeless people.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he come to pick her up then? And then he brought her
you're
out?
right. You're right. I forgot about that. You're
And then
right.
we had a whole, yeah.
True. Excuse me.
Songbird made her choice. Now she needs to learn what the consequences are.
There's one more thing, Saul.
Uh-oh.
The project she was part of stays well under wraps. None of it leaks.
This is bad. Really bad.
If our little bird lands in the wrong hands, I don't want to think what will happen.
All that. We're the only ones privy.
It would destroy the NUS. It's not a risk I'm willing to take.
We're on the same page.
What determines how that conversation
No risk.
changes?
That's how it'll be.
Do you hear that?
Just so you know, this isn't any easier for me, Reed. I liked the girl, trusted her. But with some choices, there's no way back.
Choices? Yours or hers?
Say again?
You heard me. But no matter. I know what I have to do and I'll do it.
I authorize you to take any and all necessary action. Just try not to shoot her in the head.
I'd have expected as much.
Government dog.
How come this conversation, what made this conversation different from the first one when we walked in past the fan?
What are our orders, sir?
I'm not
You
sure.
heard her.
Yes, sir.
We are fucked. Every which way possible.
Oh, that was a different fan that we
Reed
shifted
fold
past.
that
Never
easily.
mind. Okay.
Sell out straight.
I was afraid to trust him. Just couldn't. Understand why now?
Think he plain lied? Said he wanted to help you, stressed it.
Was lying to himself. Desperate to believe he wouldn't have to choose between me and Myers.
Uh-huh.
But his and the NUS's national conscience, one and the same.
Okay.
Let's ghost.
That's good. She understands that he does care, but at the end of the day, his loyalties lie where they lie. Which is very much like
Prepping to blow
Takamura,
in here with all they got.
Yep.
right?
Looking around, and now it's like a
Back
Yep.
to the terminal now.
V and
Loyal.
Songbirds path are kind of like similar.
All the parallels are very
you on
clear.
that shuttle.
They're very
That's all we
clear,
need
and,
to
and understandably
Copy
so.
Train right to the launch pad.
Yep.
That's all. Just
He
need
is
to
the
blast
mirror
at the Tycho
on
terminal
Militech's
first.
side versus Arasaka, 100%.
Myers assault team.
And you can actually agree with him until, you know?
Oh shit!
The fuckers bleed each other.
Whoa. Wait. Hold on.
National conscience.
What was the
One
pop-off
missing.
here? Is that
Let's ghost.
NUS going through airport security?
That looked like it.
Civilians
Orbital
are
Air
being
versus in USA.
Instead of just
Prepping to blow in here with all they
joining them?
Okay. Back to
Or they're
the terminal
passing
now.
through.
Because
you know?
I heard the line earlier indicated that they're kind of flexing,
Put you on that
landing
shuttle.
like this.
That's all we need to do.
but they're just not. They're not cooperating.
Train
They're
right to
just
the launch
taking
pad.
over.
That's all. Just
Violating
need to blast through the
international
cargo
law.
terminal first.
Okay.
Myers
But it's that
assaulted.
hostile. It's not even like. Wow. I was expecting like, oh damn it, the feds are taking over. Get out of here, you local cops. You know? I thought it was kind of that vibe, not like kill them. But I guess the importance of Songbird is not understated.
Whoa.
Yeah, like. That is a crazy escalation. I kind of assumed that Militech and Arasaka could fucking power money dickwave to get their way past international treaties and, you know,
Yeah.
like no man's land agreements. This is what gun and hack play looks like. Kind of feels like you're always almost about to die, though. You know, like the amount of time. But I think that's just that's the ability for Ram, isn't it? Overcooking hurts you. Yeah, okay. Right, sure.
Getting your ass blown.
Let's move. That was too close. Shit.
Oh yeah, still an escort mission.
Hair's breadth, that. Thought they spotted us.
Akira
Lee,
reference.
if that chopper gets a lock on us, we'll be as good as dead.
Do our damnedest to avoid it, then.
Take point.
Are we good?
All clear!
Something well, you know what? I'm actually just gonna shut up.
Gonna hold on to that thought.
Watching gunplay and thinking that
The
like
spinning
it can get very
intersect.
samey. It's also the same
do I
with
help you?
obviously melee play too.
Water, please.
And I kind of am like
Oh, I'm
everything
bleeding.
must get kind of samey after a while, you know?
Shit. Okay, give me a sec.
This is not Doom or Doom Eternal. It's Cyberpunk, you know? So like the ways to interface and fight are going to not be, it's not about doing combo or, you know, style switching or anything like that. It's not the genre.
Bottoms up.
Thanks.
Still 100 times better than The Witcher 3? Word? Witcher is not a game where you like do a spell and then do a sword swing and then pull out a bow and arrow and then
It was gonna be different,
You know?
all this.
do a bunch of shit.
But
Damn.
goal's what
Oh,
counts,
Witcher
right?
combat is bad?
Not for
Oh,
That's unfortunate.
I thought it was...
One thing.
I thought it would be so
Forgot
much
to tell
cooler
me.
by having melee
Who
weapons.
got you this flight?
Funny thing is, I don't know. Proxy showed up. A corpo everyman for the ages. Expensive, understated suit, dark hair, blue eyes. He asked me questions.
RPGing
The
is
kind
not
only I know the
combat
answers to.
style beasting.
Blackwell. That the issue?
And other things. Rather not talk about it. Just don't judge me, okay?
So me, I get it. Even get why. You're managing famously.
For an extreme egotist,
Forget about it.
let's get our shit together.
I wish
Come on. Help me out, can you?
it's just not the genre, but like, if you're gonna be limited to your
Backdoor
guns and
Osaka,
stuff,
around the water cooler.
the way you
There's talk
play
about
with your
secret
guns
corp clinics in
in
orbit.
something like Ultra Kill,
Illegal labs
keeps it
producing
fresh.
prototype weapons.
because of how much you can do with them.
Laws prevent you from doing something on Earth. You pursue it in outer space.
Yes.
There you go.
Evade the law.
Looking a little better.
I mean, that's
that?
basically Nomad thought, but let's take it even further. Almost looked like
feel like
Lucy
I-
on the magazine cover
Yeah,
for a
that's
second.
what I saw.
You saw it too, right?
Yeah, I was gonna comment on it. Yeah, right there.
Mano? No, it's just some, just some lady, but it definitely looks like yeah, I see it.
Shit, watch out! Find cover now!
Hell, one way of playing the game could have been to allow you to jump into one of those big mechs
Think so?
if they wanted to go crazy.
On the train now.
You know,
Straight to the launch pad.
Disappointing that that wasn't an
Out in
option.
the open here.
beams
We can move
and
fast.
missiles and explosions, but
Feeling
make
the
it have
pain?
some
Will it
downsides.
make any difference?
These dickwipes will not let up.
Dying in the line of duty then. Control tower now, V. I'll bring a train in. Take point.
Yeah.
You never know.
I guess I'm gonna just, if I'm playing like an RPG, I'm not gonna set my expectations for combat to be
Too quiet for comfort.
the star of the show, you know?
Shit! Trapped!
We're not falling.
Get
But
out of
I
sight.
always care more about that.
Nice.
Neutralize all these fuckers, V. They're in our way.
Because I'm imagining like the alternate version of this playthrough where I just did it the normal gun way. And I think I would have gotten perhaps a little more tired.
Tired in the sense of
Last one! All clear!
not overwhelmed, but
You know, I would have swerved over to melee at some point
Okay.
anyway, I think,
Flight control tower.
for variety's sake.
yeah.
Got a train to bring into the station.
But I also personally, can do that a little longer. But even then, like, sorting like
What now?
this for a while, you're like, okay, yeah, there's only so much you can do.
Remember, train's probably got a service subnet.
The tutorial of like
Slow by
blocking,
easy.
parrying,
Not
and
suggesting you
staggering
use it. Suggesting you gate it off.
Outflanking maneuver? Possible.
kind of led me
I'll
to
drop an
believe
ice
it would
chip
be a
on the
bit more in
junction.
depth than it turned out to be.
Good luck, son.
Combat in WRPGs in general kind of sucks compared to their J counterparts. Understood. Yeah. I guess so. Okay. And I mean, you're doing so much outside of combat that, it's reasonable. I understand. But man, do I love good combat. Or no combat. Disco. You know what I mean? Like, just, that's fine too.
There's so many people trying to hack you. I feel like that was like a rare occurrence.
Yeah. Netrunners going crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I would go kill them.
Yeah.
I would see the line and then jump and cut the person in half, and that'd be that.
But here it's like, oh, there's a line. Okay, taken care of. Another line. Another line.
But
another
here,
line.
you're kind of like, you know, the freedom to stealth and hack and whoa, such means you have to deal with it for longer.
You alright?
Oh, you that Asuna added more net runners.
I see.
She says she added more. Okay, so then
I
yeah,
have to drop past the wall. No other way.
gotcha.
You're a bridge. Let's go. I'll be your backup.
Always can use a proxy. Ready for this?
Fire it up.
Uploading Blackwall Demons.
Into the backyard we go. Yeah. Okay. All right.
That's insane.
That's crazy. Hail Satan! Hail Satan! .exe.
That's too close.
Sung, you okay? Let me help. Lean on me. Got a train to catch.
And that's how you be a mage.
God, I know, Sony, but you killed it. Saved our asses.
V.
Unleash Blackwall.
It's the black one.
Yeah.
No fear, son.
Yeah.
We're with you.
Okay. Right. Yeah, that is the final step, right? I kind of want that to stop. AI, get in there and do whatever you need to do to make the feeling I have happen. I'm gonna point and make that go away.
Yep. That's a threat.
Like, any sufficiently advanced tech was indistinguishable from magic. You know that saying? Mm-hmm. The idea is that the AI can understand the feeling you have and will just probably jump in and be like, yeah, we got you. We hate life. Don't worry about it. Let me at him.
There you go. Launch pad soon. Finally.
You handed that
Still
over
with
to
me?
Militech.
Holding up?
Or I didn't want that happening in the middle of the city and everywhere.
Say we make it.
Terrifying.
Ever wonder what'll happen to Reed?
Myers was done with him. I actually doubt much will change. Listen to the hum. Wish I could fall asleep,
Could have let her die.
never to wake again.
Wishful thinking. Didn't want to. Probably should have, but hoped for the best.
Hey, don't you doze off on me.
Reed. Had a dream about him recently. A repeat. Same damn nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
About that same damn train.
And what if?
And dying because of what I did.
Could be Reed's having the same nightmares. Heard it all already from him.
He put his trust in you. For a time. Trust we then boldly betrayed.
Well, Johnny'd be blunt, if not downright crude. I'll just say, betraying a friend, nothing worse.
Feels bad.
I regret it. I do. But can't turn back time.
It's interesting how, like,
It
she
might
locks
just
Johnny
be-
out of, you know, almost being more present in these moments. Pobity's nerfed.
Actually, think Reed forgave you.
Oh yeah, so much for a pure moon, right? You send up the fucking black wall, just watch the whole thing go crap. Oh my god.
The only one I've betrayed.
What do you mean, Song?
Uh-oh.
Neural matrix V can only be used once.
What? How so?
It's a captive AI from beyond the wall. Relies on continuous evolution to exist.
Oh, there's a theme.
I'll free it and end the process. It'll then execute my commands and disintegrate irretrievably.
How long have you known this? That only one of us could come out alive?
Sure. I learned it existed. Started delving into...
From before.
From the test era, right?
Fuck me.
Yeah. Cynosure was the basement.
I think I'm gonna die soon.
And the emotional journey we're
I
on.
regret. Wasn't honest with you. I'm sorry.
Could have told me the truth. Would have helped you anyway. Song?
Song?
Hot diggity fuck. Color me impressed.
She doesn't get a chance to
Took
betray you.
everyone for a ride. Myers, Hanson, Reed, you.
Having some fun with me.
And you can say that you would have done it.
Serious. Takes character to be a bastard front to back and inside out. Believe me, I know. Woman's obsessed, determined to a fault. That earns my respect.
Fuck all that. Thing is, you and me are back at square one. Still have that problem. Finding some way to save ourselves.
Could always call Reed on the hollow.
Think he'd kill me.
Damn, globe-sized ego, V. You mean zilch to him. Just one person he's gunning for.
Interesting.
Nice to drop in and shoot some shit, V. High time you woke her, though.
Hey, Song? Almost there. Clearly, need some help. Nearly there. Ends in sight. Fucking hell.
Stop there.
That in order.
Stop where you are or die.
Look. Putting her down.
Slow down. So, what do you want to do?
Reed, she's fucking dying.
I see 2 near corpses with a death wish. Your fault alone if she kicks in.
Right, because you and Myers had no hand in this shit.
That is all that awaits her on the moon. You want to save her? Leave her to me.
Back on the roof, Myers ordered her killed. You didn't protest.
You heard it.
Every last word.
The situation's changed. Just leave Songbird to me. I can still help her.
That biz 7 years ago, Song followed Myers' order, then never forgave herself for it. It'll be the same for you. Remorse to the end of your days.
But this ain't about Song anymore, V. No, this is about her not sparking another war. I'm taking Songbird to Washington. She'll answer for treason. She has to.
Been hiding behind the NUS flag all your life. Come a day, they'll drape it over your casket.
You'll never understand.
Understand a lot more than you do. You ain't doing this for the NUS. Or for Myers. Doing this for you alone. Got it. You're nothing. No one.
Grow the hell up. Came to terms with my personal failure way back. But caring about Somi, I strove to help her. Well, she shat all over everything I could say in her defense. She's gonna drag you down too. Leave her to me, and save yourself.
Really don't want to shoot you.
Same. Just turn around and walk away.
Can't hand her over. Won't. Out of my way.
You got 3 seconds. 1.
Reed.
2.
Damn it to hell, Reed. I'm sorry, man.
So damn late.
Fuck.
You had no choice. But your friend there will join Reed in the Beyond if you don't hurry your ass.
Gonna be okay.
Okay.
Let's push.
Okay. I mean, that's a beautiful way for that to go down.
We're bound for the moon.
But I
someday.
think I might have
Getting
figured
away from
out
them all.
where everyone's anger
Get that feeling too sometimes.
was coming
Drop
from.
everything, leave it all behind. Wouldn't it be nice? Let's see, what do we got here?
Yeah, anger. Sorry, we're not done yet, so there's still more we can learn. But so far, a lot of thoughts are going through my brain. I don't know about you. For does this change anything about what went down and how?
What went down in our run?
So, because I think that, because what I'm seeing here is Songbird continues and absolutely is a shit, right? And folks who are like, I can't believe you went that way, the way you did, or so. The idea is, I think it kind of comes down to, like, are you just unable to abide by the idea of like going along with the bootlicker sort of choice because you're going with the corp that, or you're going with you're abiding with the dude who's accepting the president no matter what, and that just feels worse inside. No matter what is happening outside of the decision, you're like, Reed's way of doing this is it feels too shitty. And if you're somebody who's like, fuck the authority, you can't go with that, and thus you want to be like, yeah, I support Songbird being shitty because she was fighting for
Just trying to survive.
her survival, even if it meant fucking everyone over, including you yourself, right? I think that seems to be kind of the core of it. And if you're ultimately like the outcome that supports the greedy and powerful getting that, getting more power in a way is worse than an omnipresent threat, then I guess we're almost philosophically in a different place, because I'm almost looking at it like, nukes exist and are horrifying things, and the idea that people and nations have them and can use them on each other is fucked.
Yeah.
And are you someone who thinks, and therefore we should have 3D printed nukes so that everyone could get one? Or that the accessibility and or ability for the openness of that wanton destruction being in the hands of the rich, powerful, and awful is a terrible thing, but then the risk versus it being out in the open in the wild where anybody could access that, does that bring you more comfort or less? Are you anti-authoritarian to the point where you prefer the anarchy and the danger that comes with it and are willing to risk everything and this type of outcome for that freedom, so to speak? Does that make you more comfortable? I'm not sure. But if you are somebody that thinks that way and looks at it in that way, I might fundamentally disagree with you on the type of life we want to live, you know? And so when I look at Songbird and her struggle here and where we get to, and like, there's even that part where she's like, I betrayed you too at the end. And I can see if you're like looking at it like, yeah, fuck the boots no matter what, you know, that'll be a stronger emotional pull to it. But I just happen to think that like heartstrings are not the emotionality aside of it. When there's more casualties coming out of the outcome, I feel like that's always going to kind of determine which way I lean more. However, it does change the idea of whether you should kill her or not when she asks you to. That's kind of how I feel about it. Like, I don't, when I think back on the paths that we took. Does that make sense?
Okay, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
There's no way to walk away from this going like, oh yeah, you know, there's no problem here just giving Sog everything she wanted, you know, and Reed and the complexity of the fact that he does give a fuck but is deluding himself is pretty clear too. And if you just are like, I would literally rather die and kill everybody than give the president what she wants, that's one way to live. But, you know, what is actually going to be more threatening to more people? The fucking American government that we have that already has its nukes being able to continue to have those nukes, or putting a 3D printed file up for everybody to get them if they wanted to. It sucks. It's garbage. It's not a fucking...
That's very multifaceted.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's that, and that kind of is an underlying stomach churn that I feel when I look at this type of thing. So that's how I get to the places I got to, given...
And you can't necessarily fall back on trust.
No one's trustworthy.
Yeah.
You know? I just know that the shitty status quo, where the powers that be continue to have that in this way, are one outcome. And another outcome is one where everyone potentially dies. And I just don't see that trade-off as being worth it, no matter what your emotional appeal is. You're not going to talk me out of that part of it. You know, but her survival, certainly, and her willingness to be like, just end me, is the one that we can absolutely talk about that. You know? Yeah, so I'm sure there's more to get into, but this is all going through my brain as I'm watching this play out.
Okay.
Know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Pressure O2, infusion pump. Gently now.
Warning system memory clear.
Good luck, Song. In spite of it all.
Killing the person that wants you to kill them in most video games is often the bad choice. It wasn't here, maybe.
Hatch locked and sealed.
You know? Pariah.
Oh.
Pariah?
What a weapon name.
Pariah?
Yeah.
Activated. Hydrogen.
No shot. What?
Sealed.
Yep.
That's it. Wow. Yeah, okay. No. Pride, Prejudice.
Yeah.
Pariah.
The modifications have turned this into a silent weapon.
That's fantastic. The only silenced tech weapon in the game.
Internal power activated. Hydrogen pressure sufficient for takeoff. Automatic boot sequence initiated.
Well, no turning back now.
Minus 60 seconds. RS-25 main engine ignition.
Here we go.
First time I've ever launched a spacecraft. You?
Same, man. Same.
T-minus 50 seconds. Solid propellant engines burning. Spark igniters active.
Whatever awaits her in orbit.
Yeah.
Hope she ends up happy.
She's free. Slammed it home. She has just a bit of what I lacked in
Watch the moon turn red.
fucking luck.
Know what? Ginormous hypocrite. That's what you are.
Yeah.
Truly. Your chief occupation most times was to make sure peeps were talking about you. Gonna compare yourself to her now? A woman who sacrificed all to
Guess
save her
I
life.
could have done more. Been different. Maybe. Could also be I was convinced I couldn't make it out alive. And maybe, just maybe that chick had great follow-through to the fucking end. And I lacked that last ounce of determination. Dunno.
Well, at least you're being honest with yourself. That in itself's some version of freedom.
What do you say next? Be all you can be? Limitations are all in my head?
Just watch the show, Johnny.
T0, lifting.
Teleport.
She made it. That's what counts.
Did she? Or is it the same ambiguous journey to space that we got? Did she make it?
Yeah. Wasn't in good shape.
I guess the credits call would determine.
Where do we go from here?
Now, we wave bye-bye to your dreams of living a long, happy life.
Got the two of us some more time together.
Fuck me, oh joy.
And things ain't all bad, at any rate. Politicos and spies at war, us in the middle. We came out whole.
Sure shit made some enemies, powerful ones, too. Myers will remember. Won't let it pass. No fucking way after you killed the most loyal of her hounds.
If another war breaks out, Reed'll just be the first to have fallen of so many.
Guy fought his own war for his rare ideals. Tombs like that, nobody remembers them. Nobody.
How this would be the
He
other
did shift focus
conversation
now.
with
To
Johnny.
myself, my own path.
I'll say, fucking with NUSA plans launching a half-dead cyborg into orbit adds bricks to that edifice called legend. But clock's ticking, friend. You're dying. Gotta do something about it.
Which is why fighting for life is almost always the right choice. You know? Damn.
Hello, V.
Oh.
Hey, Alex.
Surprised?
Actually, glad you're reaching out. Be good if we talked, you know?
Couldn't agree more. Come by the Moth, would ya?
This invite from you or the FIA?
Good question.
Got a black sack on your head? Didn't think so. Means it's from me.
Sure. See you there.
You know, reading Vagabond taught me too much about never fucking giving up.
By an unknown organization
Finally.
at Night City
Good.
International and
Grab a seat.
Translunar.
Another back in
Echoes
Nico,
of the
yeah.
bloodbath continue
Talking about you.
unabated.
The
Dozens
chances,
of
huh?
victims, chiefly orbital air staff, the paralysis of air and space travel, and losses going into billions of Eurodollars. These are the sad results of this senseless act of aggression.
Familiar, this fucking jabber. It's war talk.
Today we
a
talk to
wind-up.
Leslie Wawuda,
Old
Orbital Air
grunt
CEO,
Myers
speaking to
knows
us
how
from
to
Nairobi,
escalate
Kenya,
shit.
where Mr. Wawuda did manage to travel.
One thing's sure. If they jump at
Mr.
each other,
Wawuda, you
Militech
claim
will
to
rip
know
Sokka's
exactly who's
throat out.
responsible for the recent attack on what is clearly the jewel in your corporation's crown.
Yes, Night Corp. It must be said. To Night Corp, the spaceport in Night City is
Oh, is shit about to pop off because of that? It ought to.
orbital air, the
Mm-hmm.
leader in orbital technology.
Couldn't be sure you'd
They
show.
would destroy us out of envy for our success.
A lot of shit went down.
Was a few
Think I need a kindred soul to hash things out.
My luck's in then.
Was there a C word?
Good to see you too, Alex.
Okay.
It's a
Spite of it all.
grunt C.
Thank you.
So, here we are, facing complicated dilemmas.
Did you invite me here to debate the sorry state of the world?
I prefer her making it out, to be honest.
And US is rolling up its shit, breaking camp.
Yeah,
My
she
bags
got
are
it
packed, too.
bad. in the
Good
last
ending for
round.
Alex,
Got one
man.
last assignment.
Especially after she got
Eliminate you.
screwed over by Reed.
Yep.
But you're not gonna.
She deserves it the most.
Actually, you're wrong. Got a few months to live, right? So I'm content to wait. In-house contest, you see. Already chalked up a few accidents and dieds of natural causes. Peeps back at the firm will wilt with envy when I post a died after a long, grueling illness.
Here. Token I got. In case anyone doubts you followed orders.
Huh. Sure you don't want to keep it?
Just take it.
I want to keep that shit.
Gotta say, I'm curious. How'd it go down with Reed?
What do you know?
What would you say to a drink first?
Yeah, she rules. I'm glad this is going down like
For the
this.
fallen, body, soul, or both.
Well played.
To Jackie. Legend of the afterlife. My dear, dear friend.
To Jackie.
One of the many.
Legend.
I love how long that list gets.
Yeah. Another one.
Well, I will drink to Reed.
Damn sorry, Alex. To Reed.
A man of honor, a patriot, a comrade. How'd it go down, V? How did he die?
Stubbornness killed Reed. The man just couldn't let go, even once he'd lost.
Saul was stubborn in defense of ideas. What do you think? He died for Myers or Somi?
Both. Did his damnedest to save one, but
Loyalty.
had to stay loyal to the other.
Fucking overgrown superego. If only his mind had been as big, he'd be alive today.
That's one way to see
Coworkers
things.
Heart
like him.
and loyalty.
Buried, I guess, as always. But not especially. Fucking fate of an FIA agent.
Well, Takamura survived.
Well, here's
Right?
to
Yeah,
all
he loves you for
fools with
that.
principles.
To all peeps with principles. Guess what? Your country just started another corp war.
The new United States was in no way involved in the recent events at NC International and Translunar.
Nor was Night Corp.
Orbital Airs long sought a way to get rid of its competition. They'd be at each other's throats sooner or later anyway.
No qualms whatsoever?
Song didn't have any either.
What'll you do while you wait for me to flatline?
Gonna sit around being bored. Finally.
Good luck, Alex. Look out for yourself.
Nothing in my playthrough indicated
You
that
too.
Takamura
Remember, it's my
committed
job to kill
seppuku.
you. Don't
So-
let anyone beat me to it.
What?
Someone just asked
So
if he
what?
killed himself, and I'm like,
Monaco
not in
Gold?
my game.
Close. Warm, sunny place, definitely.
Chick's pretty chill. Too bad she's on the wrong side.
The death poem he sent was supposed to be
It was his?
him indicating that he's about to kill himself.
Oh, I thought he was like, he's kind of like gonna get you or something.
Yeah. He says "fuck you."
Yeah, he was like, "Fuck you." So,
But I didn't
compute that he was
I
talking
didn't
about
compute
himself
that. I
and that
didn't
he was
compute
going
that
to-
was supposed to be what that was getting at.
I
Then.
see. My bad.
So I think we both
Come
missed
on.
it.
Gotta find some new peeps you'll befriend. grow to like, and then murder.
Samurai leave a death poem before they die. That sounds like heavy headcanon. Well, y'all, I don't know. It sounded like a proper fuck you, but I could see the implication being there if that's what history has to say. But I don't know. I kept my fingers up because I wanted to remind myself of 2 points. It is vague, but if there's historical precedent and somebody who knows about the era can say that they only would say that messaging in a way to indicate that they're about to commit seppuku, then that would make sense given that he is living a loyal life to the end of it. So, that being said, I mean, it's not, well, you betrayed. His master was dead. The plan failed. But, like, he could still be loyal to Hanako. You know? It's not like the circumstances changed in such a way that a new master has died by your betrayal. It was more just a writing of a... Anyway, we don't have to go. You dishonored him. But, yeah. I could see an argument going for, like, the circumstances changed for the worse, but I don't know if it was so much worse compared to where he started off at that committing seppuku was right on the table there, you know? Don't know.
So, like, is it that even though he was trying to help her, he was, like, still working against the corp? So, like, even though he was loyal without having the support of the corp. So he was alone or whatever?
He was on his own, and he did fail in his, you know, in trying to recruit you, I suppose. Yeah. The other endings have more lore. Okay. Well, going against Yorinobu, right, is yeah. Yeah. Again, we're just speculating here, so I don't know. But before I forget, the first thing I was going to say was I prefer the conversation I got with Johnny immensely more compared to what we just got there.
The one that we got?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it feels like that was more reflective of him and life and the setting, as opposed to just talking about wrapping up business. So I'm happy with that outcome. And second, I'm looking at this, and it's interesting because, like, something I was concerned about was, what if the alt path that we took was, like, meant to be sort of more canon in a way? You know, when, like, there's two pathways, but one is, like, way more cinematic and beautiful and given the extra, and you're like, oh, you're the favorite child, right? And you're kind of like, you're supposed to be the canon one in a way. This truly feels like both of those are filled with those moments, because that showdown on the walkway with Reed is awesome.
Yeah.
That's a super cool way for that to go down. And while it was happening, I was like, oh, fuck, we missed out on that, right? And then Pariah and all that. And then as soon as it was done, I was like, wait a minute. They missed out on, like, Cynosure.
Yep.
And that final bit with her.
With the dread.
At the core.
And deciding,
talking to her.
Yeah.
And because they missed out on Cynosure and they missed out on that final conversation with her, wanting to die, they also missed out on her flashback and the lore of her growing up, and everything about her in New York in the apartment.
Totally different perspective,
which is super duper canon valid, important as well. You know, you don't get to see her past involuntarily at that, you know, and find out about how she got there. So, like, it's just a super different route, but they're both very important. It's not like the A side and the B side.
And, like, if you're playing this for the first time and you don't know about this, obviously. So how do you tell someone to go back and redo the thing?
So here's the thing. We are now, this was back towards the end of the 360 era, what you were describing. And as Dark Souls was becoming more of a thing, we were going into this, like, what should be expected of the player versus and hidden in the game versus like what's practical. We are now online internet people, and games are made with the expectation that the player is connected to the internet. You know, I don't know if that should be the case, but it doesn't matter. You will find out. The world will tell you. People will find out. They'll game it. Secrets won't be secrets for long. Games are developed in such a way that there's an understanding that the wiki hive mind exists outside there. And if you care enough to find out, you'll know to go back and see more. You know? It's just where we are now. There's no longer a way to ignore the parallel online conversation about a game while you play it.
Yeah.
Versus the way we grew up where you play in a cabin in the woods.
Yeah, back in the days, you're playing like Chrono Trigger, and then you're like, oh, I got this ending. That's the weird game. And people are like, I got a different ending. Like, what?
Go
what do you mean you got a different ending?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go find that on your own. One of the last conversations I had like that was me talking to, you know, Matt, Pat, my friend Keith back in the day, a bunch of dudes I went to school with, about Metal Gear Solid 3 and how our different choices affected different outcomes to boss fights in that game.
That must have been cool to talk about.
It was super cool. And it was one of the last times I knew everyone I talked to had a different outcome, you know? To some moments in that game, and yeah, we're no longer there. We've hit the Dark Souls era. People leave messages, and the internet will tell you how to keep Solaire alive, even though everything about Solaire is supposed to die playing the game normally. But if you go over here and you get this one helmet and you get this light bug and you make him do this and then you don't do that and don't bring him, and you can make him survive, but you've got to bend these hoops. The game wants him to die. Yeah. We now live in that era, you know?
Return to the place that reminds me of home and see what you find.
Under the bridge?